Hello. Just gonna tell you a few things about the way I do things during incubating my chameleon eggs. So first thing is we have the eggs out of the tray, the lay tray, whatever you want to call it, into the incubation pot. Okay. Now whatever substrate you use doesn't matter. The vermiculite's good. It's hard to tell when it's dry and when it's still wet at some stages, unless you have a good feel, but I like to use sand simply because you can always tell when it's drying out. It goes fairly white, like you can see on the edges of here. It is drying out on the edges, but that's okay because it's still fairly moist around there. So I like to have the sand so you can pretty much mould it. It's going to crumble. It's not exactly stuck to my hands, but you do want it fairly moist. So there's a little bit of stick, but it's going to come off, no problem. A few flicks and it's not wet stuck. Okay. Once you have them into it and the media you're happy with, the moisture and the media you're using, you can incubate them. And once you incubate these, okay, sorry, these are my chameleon stick insect eggs. Won't be doing a video on those, so keep those out. I have a few in here as well. Yemen eggs, Yemen chameleon eggs in here. These are about 7 months into incubation. It's a funny little story. My old female actually passed away during her last lay, where she only laid up around 8 eggs, where 4 survived and hatched, and she unfortunately died during that lay. And I since then got a new female and redone the cage, but I kept all the old flower pots. So knowing the old flower pots were dirty and smelly, I chucked those away. Well, sorry, before chucking those away, I luckily took some soil out of the plant pots to add to my fruit beetle substrate to raise the bedding for better egg laying, more breeding production, blah blah. Actually going through the bottom of the flower pot, I found 28 more eggs. There's 11 in here. The rest are in there, the top black one. Yeah, I found them, so it's always good to double check, go through all the flower pots, anything you have in there where she could have laid those eggs, because sometimes your female will lay, she will dig probably 2 to 12 holes until she's happy to lay those eggs. So obviously my female went on a little bit of a digging mission, and I just missed them. Luckily I found them before throwing them away. So anyway, what I usually do through the incubation is I like to start the temps at around about 24. I incubate on 24 Celsius for the next 3 months, and after 3 months what I will do is I will down this every other day. So every 2 days I will down this one until I reach 18. Okay, so until I reach 18 I will incubate them every other day. Every other day I'll drop them down to 18. For the next 3 months, once you are on 18, you want to incubate them for another 2 months, 2 to 3 months, sorry. Once you're at the 6th month of incubation, you want to raise them back up to 26. I'm happy with 26. I don't go anywhere past 28. Due to me not wanting to lose eggs due to trial and error. I wouldn't like to see what happens to the eggs over a high temperature. They'd probably dry out or just ruin. Anyway, so 24 to begin with for 3 months. So we close this for 3 months. You check them whether they're too dry, blah blah blah. 3 months later we come back, drop the temperatures down to 18. 2 months later we raise them back up by 1 every other day. You don't want to push the temperature straight up, because that could also ruin the eggs. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but you just wouldn't want them to spoil due to shock, whatever, from temperature rise or temperature drop. So keep them low. Okay, so during those times you will need to water when they go too dry. So once you know they are too dry, it's good to keep a cup of water in the incubator to keep humidity levels high. It's good. That's a waterproof thermostat. Never mind. So it's always good to have something like this in your incubator to keep humidity levels high in your incubator. And also, it's good to get the water out of here, because the temperature will be the same, and when you drip the water onto your eggs, you won't shock them. So you just want to basically drop this right on the edge of the egg. You can touch it, doesn't matter. 1 drop, I'd say, per egg. That's close together. I would simply put that in the middle here. Oh, a bit too much there. Hopefully not too much. If you think it's too much, add some dryness to it. I've already done these, so I won't go any further. Okay, that's how you do it. 1 drop per egg every time it's looking dry. Don't do it. Don't have a routine every week, because you will over moist them, let's say, and when they get too wet, you will develop black mold. Then it's too late. Black mold means too much moisture. If you got white mold on your newly laid eggs, within the first 2 months to 4 months, you're looking at infertile eggs, which means they are not good. Not the type of eggs you want. That's about it, really. Sure, I'm missing out on other things, but can't think of them right now. This is the old play sand. Nothing special. It's good. I've used it 3 to 4 times now. Probably 5th time now. This would be. It's worked for me good. I like to use it because you can see, you can feel. This isn't too wet at all. I've left this standing for a couple of days after moistening it up before. So you basically just want to have everything ready before you know these eggs are coming. If you leave it till the time you have the eggs, you rush in, you're not going to get things done, and you're going to get ruined spoiled eggs.